Okay, so are you ready to dive into this?
Absolutely.
Today we're tackling Florida coastal style,
Sounds fun.
and we're going way beyond just, seashells and starfish here.
Right, right.
We've got articles on the latest interior design trends. We've got the fascinating story of the Florida Highwaymen, and we've even got some watercolor paintings to like really bring it all to life.
Yeah, it's interesting. This goes way beyond just decorating your home.
Yeah.
We're really going to uncover how this style evolved,
Yeah.
how it reflects Florida's unique landscape
hmm
and people,
I like it.
and even like how you can bring that essence into your own space.
Right, I love that. So it's not just about like the look, it's about the feel. And one thing I noticed like when I was going through these articles, especially from Build magazine and Michelle Murphy interior design, this whole idea of serenity keeps coming up. It's almost like a minimalist approach to beach living.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a real shift away from those like cliche nautical themes,
Right.
towards something more authentic, really connected to nature.
Yeah.
You see this in the emphasis on natural materials, soft color palettes, really maximizing that natural light.
hmm
It's about creating a space that feels like a true retreat.
So instead of your beach house screaming beach, it's kind of like it whispers beach.
Exactly, exactly.
I like it. I'm into it. And I also noticed Build magazine talked about this too, embracing that local lifestyle,
Yes.
like really making the most of your surroundings.
Right. And they were talking about how it's really important to design those outdoor spaces as like an extension of your home,
Okay.
using durable materials, things that can withstand that Florida climate,
Right.
creating that seamless transition between indoor and outdoor living.
Which, let's be honest, is pretty much essential for life in Florida.
Exactly. Exactly.
Imagine waking up, sipping your coffee on the porch, looking out over the water,
Yes.
and then later on, lounging by the pool, surrounded by all that lush greenery.
It's paradise.
Yeah.
And they even suggest, using some unexpected colors,
Yeah.
like a touch of emerald green or blush, right?
Okay.
Just to add a layer of sophistication to that relaxed coastal vibe.
I am all about those pops of color.
Yeah.
Like subtle pops of color.
Right.
It's all about that balance. Speaking of unique touches, can we talk about the Florida Highwaymen?
Yes. Yes.
Because their story is like as vibrant as the landscapes they painted.
Absolutely. Now imagine this, right?
Okay.
It's the 1950s and 60s, the Jim Crow era, and you've got this group of 26 African-American artists who decided they were going to paint their way to a better life.
Wow.
These are self-taught artists creating these incredibly vivid depictions of Florida, often on something as simple as ups and board.
Wow. Can you imagine like the audacity
I know, right?
during Jim Crow to defy the system and just like build their own success? They were literally driving their art towards a better future.
They really were. And, because of segregation at the time, they couldn't showcase their art in those traditional galleries.
Right.
So they took matters into their own hands.
Yeah.
They were selling their paintings directly to people along the highways.
Talk about entrepreneurial spirit.
Right.
They saw an opportunity and created a whole new way of sharing their art with the world.
They really did.
And they didn't just capture like the beauty of Florida, did they?
No.
They captured its soul.
Exactly. Their paintings weren't just like pretty pictures,
Right.
They were filled with emotion, with stories.
Yeah.
Those vibrant landscapes, the iconic palm trees, the dramatic skies. It's a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit,
Right.
of artistic expression in the face of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And their artwork, like it just feels like the perfect way to bring that Florida coastal style into my own home,
Absolutely.
It's authentic. It's got soul.
Yeah.
Definitely a conversation starter.
Right. And it's like you're bringing a story into your space.
Okay.
Sources like Emily Duncan Designs and Marissa Hillholm talk about this, right?
Ha.
Using local art
Huh?
to give your home a sense of place,
Right.
a connection to the area's history.
So
And
it's that idea of bringing the outside in,
yes,
but it's more than just like a couple potted plants,
exactly. Exactly.
It's about infusing your space with like the energy, the stories of this place you call home.
Precisely. And what I thought was really cool was how they gave like really practical advice on how to actually do that.
Okay, yeah.
They were talking about using large statement pieces
Okay.
as focal points, right? Like maybe a dramatic sunset over the Everglades by the Highwaymen, or creating a gallery wall with different coastal scenes.
Ah, a gallery wall with like highwayman paintings and like vintage Florida postcards.
Yeah.
Or like black and white photos of old Miami Beach. Oh, I love it.
You've got it. You've got it. And Emily Duncan designs actually like cautions against going overboard with the typical beach theme.
Yeah.
You know, like avoiding those like cliché seashell lamps,
Right.
the fishnet tablecloths.
Less is more.
Yes,
Especially when you're going for that like sophisticated, serene vibe.
exactly.
But enough about decorating tips.
Right.
Let's get to these watercolor paintings.
Let's do it.
Because, oh my gosh, they're like a mini vacation for the soul.
They really are. Each one just offers such a unique perspective on Florida's coastal beauty.
Okay.
Let's start with this one. Okay. This one is depicting a quiet alleyway. It's lined with those charming colonial style buildings.
Oh, yeah.
And it's bathed in that warm Florida sunlight.
This is giving me like all those dreamy Key West vibes.
Yes.
It's not just the architecture, though.
Yeah.
It's like the way the light plays on the buildings, the textures. You can almost like feel the history.
Right.
Which I think is so cool. Like that's what capturing that sense of place is all about,
Exactly. And the artist's use of color is just brilliant.
Yeah.
That deep cobalt blue of the sky really intensifies the mood.
Yeah.
And it contrasts so beautifully with the warm, sun-kissed tones of the buildings.
It's like stepping back in time.
Yes.
And I love how like the composition leads your eye down this kind of narrow street. And there's this like bright opening at the end. It's like a secret passageway to another world.
You're picking up on all those like subtle details that make it so captivating. Okay.
Okay.
Let's switch gears a little bit to this next painting.
Okay.
This one is a solitary figure standing at the water's edge.
Oh, okay.
And there's this sky full of stormy gray clouds.
Oh, wow. This one's got a completely different mood, right?
Completely different.
It's a lot more like contemplative, almost melancholic.
Yes.
Those cool tones, the soft edges of the clouds, even just like the figure's isolation.
It makes you really like think and reflect.
Yeah, it really does.
And notice how the artist uses those reflections.
Oh, yeah.
You see the figure mirrored in the water, slightly distorted, and that distant structure on stilts way off in the background,
Oh, yeah.
adds like a layer of mystery.
Like who built that structure? What is its purpose? What's going on?
Exactly. And the painting doesn't give us all the answers.
Right.
Which just makes it even more intriguing, right?
Right. Okay, what about this one? This one's giving me some serious like dream home envy.
Oh, tell me about it. Look at this modern beachfront property.
Yeah.
Nestled right between those swaying palm trees and that incredible turquoise water.
Talk about a tropical paradise. This is what dreams are made of. And the house itself, it's so sleek and minimal.
It is.
Like it almost blends into its surroundings.
It does. And the way the artist captured the light,
Oh, yeah.
those elongated shadows, the bright highlights on the water, it's like you could just step right into the scene,
Mm-hmm. It really does feel like that.
It's a stunning depiction of that, like, idealized Florida lifestyle.
Right.
And notice how they use those reflections again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The house, the sky, the trees, all mirrored in the wet sand.
Mm-hmm.
It creates such a sense of depth
Yeah.
and serenity.
It's like the water is like a portal to another dimension.
Yes.
Okay, this next beach house, totally different vibe. It's
Yeah.
giving me like classic old Florida.
This one just exudes a sense of timeless charm,
Yes.
nestled among that dense grove of palm trees.
Yeah.
Notice how the artist used those vertical and horizontal elements
Okay.
to create balance. You've got the tall, slender palm trunks contrasting with the horizontal lines of the shore and water.
It's those subtle details,
Yeah.
right? That just like really draw you in. And I love those like reddish brown tones of the shoreline, almost like layers of earth that have been revealed by the tide.
Right.
And then the way the reflection of the trees like seems to drip down into the water. It's almost abstract.
It's those subtle details that make it feel so organic,
Yeah.
so connected to nature.
Mm.
And the house itself, it almost disappears into the greenery. It's a reminder that nature is the true star in Florida.
It really is.
Right.
Okay, this last one, this is incredible. The old 7-Mile Bridge. So classic.
This piece is so striking because of the way it puts the man-made and the natural right next to each other.
Right.
You have this age-rusty bridge stretching across the canvas.
Yeah.
And it's surrounded by this pristine, untouched landscape.
It's true.
The The rocky beach, the clear water, all that lush foliage.
And the artist's use of color is amazing.
It is.
Like those warm, earthy tones and then those cooler blues of the water and sky.
Beautiful.
And the shadows, too.
Yeah.
Like those long, dark shadows cast by the bridge give it this, like, air of drama, you know?
It's like the bridge is a symbol of human resilience,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
of our ability to, like, connect with nature and maybe even conquer it.
It is really interesting to think about how, like, this one painting can make you feel so many different things.
It really is.
It speaks to the power of art,
Yeah,
really,
totally.
to connect with us on a much deeper level.
Yeah. And when we, like, look at all of these paintings together, like, what do we see?
Right.
We see so many different sides of Florida's coastal landscape.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, its beauty, that ever-changing nature, its ability to both soothe and inspire.
We've come a long way.
We have.
Like, we've gone from the, like, really specific details of modern coastal design
Right.
to the incredible story of the Highwaymen. And now we're exploring these breathtaking landscapes through the eyes of these talented artists.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It just strikes me like Florida coastal style, it's about so much more than just aesthetics. It's about like a feeling, a whole way of life, you know?
You got it. You hit the nail on the head. It's about connecting with that natural beauty that's all around you.
Yeah.
Creating a space that's, you know, stylish and functional,
Right.
but also like really tapping into the history and the soul of this amazing state.
Like, it's not just about having a beachy home. It's about having a home that feels like authentically Floridian.
Exactly.
And that's where like all those little tips about like, you know, incorporating local art, using natural elements, it all comes together because it's about telling a story with your decor. And it's a story that's like rooted in the character of Florida's coast.
Exactly.
So, okay, for anyone listening who's feeling inspired
Yes.
and they want to like bring a touch more of that Florida coastal style into their own homes, where do they even begin?
Well, I would say like start by just thinking about that feeling you want to create.
Okay.
You know, do you want something that's like light and airy and playful?
Okay.
Or are you going for something more, I don't know, moody, contemplative, serene? You know, are you drawn to those sleek lines of modern design?
Yeah.
Or that like rustic charm of old Florida?
Right, right. It's like creating a mood board for your life.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to like get creative.
Yeah.
Mix it up.
Right.
Experiment with textures. Maybe incorporate some of those like pops of color we talked about.
Right, right.
But like most importantly, look for those unique pieces, those conversation starters.
Yes.
The things that really speak to you. You know, maybe it's a vintage Highwaymen painting
Okay.
or a piece of driftwood you found on the beach.
Yeah.
Maybe it's even a family heirloom that brings back those memories of Florida.
Right, right. And I'm also thinking about how to like blur those lines between indoor and outdoor living.
Yes.
You know, we talked about those outdoor spaces and how important they are to life in Florida. Imagine like just opening up your home to those warm breezes.
I know, right?
That sunshine.
It is. It's about embracing that, you know, that relaxed coastal lifestyle.
Yeah.
Imagine waking up to the sound of the waves, having your breakfast out on the porch as the sun comes up,
Okay.
spending the afternoon with a good book as the palm trees sway in the breeze.
It's like we're not even talking about interior design anymore. It's a whole outlook on life.
It really is. It's about slowing down,
Yeah.
appreciating those simple pleasures, connecting with nature.
Yes.
You know, it's about finding your own little piece of paradise,
I like it.
whether it's a huge beachfront property or a cozy little cottage.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so wow, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have.
This deep dive has been such a journey.
It has.
Like from those really subtle design choices that give you that feeling of serenity to the incredible stories of the Highwaymen
Yeah.
and the breathtaking beauty of these landscapes that we've explored.
Inspiring.
It is inspiring.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with this one thought.
Okay.
Imagine yourself stepping onto that porch,
Okay.
the one we've been talking about, right?
Yes.
With the sea breeze, the palm trees, the smell of the salt air, that view of the water stretching out. And just ask yourself, how can you bring that feeling of tranquility, that connection to nature, that essence of Florida into your own life?
I love that.